is the 2023 Mercedes-Benz GLS 450, the ultimate luxury three-row SUV. Well, you'll have to tell me what you think down in the comments after watching this particular video. Now, you might say to yourself, are you going to have the link down in the description of the video to Mercedes-Benz of Shreveport? Because that's where I normally get Mercedes-Benz vehicles from. But you might be surprised to know that this is a used model, under 4,000 miles as a 2023. But I actually borrowed this model from my friends at Morgan Buick GMC here in Shreveport, Louisiana. The link is down in the description of the video. There is plentiful space for driver and passengers. There's also a very nice and configurable cargo area with a lot of capacity. Even though this is a 3-liter 6-cylinder that's under the hood, it is peppy. It does make a good amount of horsepower, and the ride quality is good. It's an all-wheel drive model. So let's dive in and find out exactly what you're going to get if this is a model you'd like to buy for 2023. And there are two changes to tell you about for 2023. The metallic paint is now standard, as is the panoramic sunroof on these GLS models. Obviously, the lighting on here is going to be, at the price point of these vehicles, it's going to be LED everywhere you look. But I like the design here of what Mercedes-Benz has done, as you see, with the blinker housing, the daytime running lights, but also you're going to have blinkers right in this area. Everything else, obviously LED here, looking very nice. Going to have that nice large Mercedes-Benz logo on the center of the upper grille. Kind of a unique look compared to a lot of competitors. It doesn't have that kidney shape of the BMW. So if you don't like that, you want something that's maybe a little bit more unique, that's what we have here. Lower grille, going to not only be surrounded by a lot of chrome, but also you'll see some of your sensors here, a lot of driving aids, front and rear parking sensors, all that good stuff is going to be here. And we're going to have the Mercedes logo right here. As we work our way around, body color on the mirror caps. Obviously you can see that we will have cameras down here on the lower portion of the mirrors, cameras all over the vehicle. These are power adjustable, heated, powered, folding side view mirrors. Turn signal indicators are built in. You do have the body color, well, a portion body color and chrome door handles on the front and the rear. Obviously, when you have the remote on your person, you can walk up to the doors when everything isn't turned on. I have the ignition turned on in there and open everything or lock everything, depending on what your needs are. We're going to have the chrome surround on the windows, the nice deep tinted privacy glass here in the rear. The roof rails will be up here in brushed aluminum, and, well, a little bit more of a squared off look on the rear roof spoiler to finish things off. One thing I wish Mercedes-Benz would do, clean things up back here on the rear window. Hide that rear window wiper away inside of that rear roof spoiler. And you can see that there's more to the spoiler than just being the typical spoiler. You can see this area right here. Everything is functional. It's not just there for looks. And if you like your chrome, well, you're going to have quite a bit of that here. You're going to have the 4MATIC logo that tells you that this is an all-wheel drive vehicle. Chrome on the trim, on the upper and lower portions here, on the top of the bumper right there, with the exhaust finishers as well, and even with the surround. And then we're going to have things finished off back here with our nicely and tastefully done LED taillights. And don't worry, I'm not going to forget to tell you about tire and wheel size. On the width, 285. That's so wide that I can't really reach from one side to the other with my hand wide open. 285 on the width, 45 on the sidewall, wrapped around the 22-inch wheels. And you probably saw it earlier, but you do have the running, or the sideboards there, almost call them running boards. That's an old school term, but the side steps there, not really necessary in this case, but they are there. Here is what your remote looks like for 2023. No changes where that is concerned, but you can see how that looks. And I will lock the interior and show you that, yes, indeed, those are power folding side view mirrors. And here under the hood, the mild hybrid powertrain. It's a 3-liter 6-cylinder. It makes 362 horsepower. The torque numbers come in at 369, mated to a 9-speed automatic transmission. And as you already know, because I've said it earlier, this is an all-wheel drive vehicle. Now, how about those all-important MPGs? I always like to tell you about that. 18 city and 23 highway. Not too terribly bad for what you get here with the size of the vehicle. If you are interested in towing with your GLS 450, max towing capacity comes in at 7,700 pounds. And as you can see, you have the hands-free tailgate. You don't have to just swipe your foot underneath like that. You can do a kicking motion. I just prefer to swipe. It's my personal preference. It is what it is. It works either way. Cargo capacity numbers, well, it depends on how you set things up. You have 17.4 to 42.7 to 48.7 to 84.7 cubic feet. And I wanted to show you how you can use the controls right here to lower or raise your middle row seats. There we go. And so all I did, it's a little tricky. You have to push that down until they start moving. But the good news is you don't have to hold the buttons down the whole time for this process to work. See if we can get that to work. There you can see that I've pushed the button for the right-hand side and now for the left-hand side, and I'm not doing anything. So there's how you're going to maximize your cargo capacity in this 3-row. Let's see how long it takes for these seats to come back up. They're a little slow to move, but then again, when you're using an electric motor to do this sort of thing, well, I guess it makes sense that it might take a little bit longer than it would otherwise. You do have your option right here to close the rear door, or you can close and lock depending on what your situation is. In our particular situation, here is what we are going to do. We're not going to do that at all. We're going to move into the rear seating area and start taking a look around. You can see that you have fully adjustable seats back here. So the good news is that if somebody is a rear seat passenger, and you do have quite a bit of room back there for 2 adults, the good news is that these seats do move back and forth, so leg room can be increased or decreased if somebody you don't like is sitting in the back seat. You also have heated only here in the rear. As far as these middle row seats go, you do have heated and ventilated for the front seats. Everything is fully adjustable. As you can see, there's ambient lighting. You can raise or lower the shades right here, but I know everybody wants to know how much space there is in the back seat area. Before I show you that, let me show one more thing here. One thing I would like to see Mercedes-Benz do differently is not have these removable and easily lost covers for the latch system. So if it were me, I think I would design something in here that maybe was either you could push it in to gain access and anchor the child safety seats, or move it up and out of the way, but something that isn't completely removable like that, because I know you parents are awfully busy, and that would just be one more thing to keep up with. Now, unless you have really short legs, yeah, it'd be kind of uncomfortable right there. I have this seat moved up as far as I can. Like I said, there is room back here for adults. I'm 5'10". Let's see how my wind-blown hair is close to the ceiling. How close is it to the roof? Not too close, actually. I have a few inches to go there at 5'10". So a good bit of space back here. But like I said, I moved this left side seat as far forward as I could. That's as far as it goes. This is as far back as the other seat will go, or either seat will go. So if you were curious about that, well, now you know. And you can see what you have right here as far as your connectivity goes, a drink holder, all that good stuff is here. And you do have a panoramic sunroof, even though I have the shade closed right now. It is there, and a lot of very nice ambient lighting. And we'll move on up into this middle row seating area and see what your middle row seat passengers will find. And what they will find is the ability to control the multi-zone climate control here in the rear. As you can see, you actually have quad zone climate control, 4 zones, 2 in the front, 2 here in the rear. And you can see everything that's here as far as all of your different features go. You can kind of see a little bit of the ambient lighting on my hand right there, and even under the seat. We'll show you as best as we can, even though it's a little bit light outside today, so kind of hard to see, but that is the ambient lighting. Here are the air conditioning vents, and obviously we have the shades that will go down very easily. All I did was push the button right here to lower the window, and if I push it one more time, it will go ahead and lower that window down. We don't need to worry about that, but just so you can see what is there, you do have the armrests here, so those can be adjusted. And the height is adjusted with this area right here, kind of a scroll wheel of sorts. Not sure that I'm completely sold on that, but it is what it is. That's what we have, and you can see everything from this vantage point, but we're just getting started. We're going to hop into the front seat and see what you will find as the driver and your passenger, including massaging front seats. And a completely different look for the front doors for the driver and the passenger as far as where the door bin is concerned and just the overall design. Like I said, you have heated and ventilated. Here are the ventilated seats right here. Here are the heated seats, and then you can control everything right here. Pretty easy to figure out. That's in the shape of the seat, in case you've never noticed that before. And something you don't see a lot, but at this price point, you better. Seat memory, not only on the passenger side, but obviously if it's here on the passenger side, it's going to be on the driver's side as well. Going to have a little bit more of a look at that ambient lighting right here around the oh crap handles that are there. A little bit of a pass-through of sorts, not really a pass-through, but kind of looks that way. We'll get inside and take a look around, and you can see the nice trim, the wood grain paneling. We have the gloveless glove box. It's called a glove box, but I just don't find gloves in there too terribly often. All the controls for the air conditioning right here for the front seat area. Here's your wireless charging pad. Gonna have some more connectivity there like we saw in the back. And then we're gonna have our cup holders. And here is everything if you were like Monk and you didn't want to use the touchscreen, which this is a touchscreen. The MBUX system that debuted for the 2021 model year on these Mercedes-Benz models is now a touch screen. So quite a bit going on there. We'll go through that a little bit more in just a minute when we hop into that area. But the reason I bring that up is because you can also use the trackpad right here to take care of business as well. So if you're like Monk and maybe you don't like fingerprints on your touch screen, well, guess what? You don't have to touch your touch screen. It's just like the previous generation of these models where it didn't have a touch screen. Everything else here, you can probably figure out what you have as far as all that goes. And if you're wondering what this is actually kind of a rest for your wrist to be able to control things. You could probably move your hand back a little bit more and use it more effectively depending on the size of your hand. And then we'll also look at the Bombay doors. Space inside there quite a bit. A couple more options, or one more option at least, for connectivity right there. And a little bit of space within. Also, we didn't look at it earlier, but there are a couple of cup holder options here for your rear seat passengers as well. And I told you it was there. I just had to open the sunroof, or the shade for the panoramic sunroof. But there it is. Nice large panoramic sunroof. Again, at this price point, you would likely expect something like this. And as far as the driver's side door is concerned, not much more going on here than we saw on the passenger side, other than the fact that you can lock your windows, control all the windows, control the mirrors, all that good stuff. It's all here. Not much more going on. And then we have the controls here for the headlights. We have a power adjustable tilt and telescopically adjustable steering wheel. And we'll hop inside and start things up just so we can show you the very nice screens that we have here. And the thing that I like, we're going to get rid of that, is that you have the mini track pads right here. As you can see, I can select where I want to go and what I want to do as far as the look that I want on the dashboard by using that trackpad right there. A very simple system, very easy to use, and you do the same thing over here on the right hand side with the center screen. So the 10.25 inch screen, very nice, very effective. And then when we go into reverse, which you don't have to be in reverse to do this, but you can see the camera views that we have, multiple camera views right here. And just so you can see what all is here, I will quickly run through all of that. Again, at this price point, you would probably expect something like this, and it is most certainly here. Here is the Tesla-like shifter that Mercedes-Benz employs on these vehicles. And you do have a lot going on here with this screen. Obviously, you can connect your phone, go through all your functions on the radio, media, and then we can go into info. We can go into Mercedes-Benz apps right here. Let's see what all is here. You've got Mercedes Me, the smartphone, the browser, all that good stuff, weather. You don't have the onboard built-in dash cam, but that is an available feature here. And then on your vehicle, quite a bit going on there as well. We've got quick access. We can go to assistance right here, and depending on your features, as far as safety features go, you can go in and change all of that. You can see what all is here. And we'll go into vehicle right here. Very easy to use, by the way. Very simple to learn, very simple to figure out. Automatic seat adjustment, what that is right there, is gonna, when you get in the vehicle, it will automatically set the seat where you want it and all that kind of stuff. It'll move forward, move back. All that good stuff is there. You can see what all's here. It's really pretty simple to use. And like I said, you've got your lighting here, your ambient lighting. And there is a lot going on here that you can go through. You can go to your exterior lighting if you want to and determine how long that stays on. Or if you want to go into the interior lighting delay, you can do that as well. You can also go to your daytime running lights, but ambient lighting is probably one of the coolest features here. You can change the brightness. You can also change the color. And if I remember correctly, I believe there are 64 different colors. It's been a long time since I've reviewed one of these Mercedes-Benz models, but I think that's what we have here. But let's go back. We're going to go home and we're going to go over here to comfort, because I know that I really like the massage seats. So we can turn that on. We can start the massage seat function going, and there's a lot of things you can change there. You can see the hot relaxing shoulder, the activating massage. It's all here. Seat comfort, you can go in there and make changes as it's needed. And then obviously ambient lighting is there as well. I tell you what, we could do a full video just on this infotainment screen alone if we wanted to. But there's still the test drive. What is it like to drive this GLS 450? Why don't we hop out on the road and find out? By the way, speaking of driving, here's your drive mode selector. Let's see what happens on the screen when we go into that. We have off-road, we have eco, we have comfort, and we have sport. There are a lot of different things you can do here to make the most of your driving experience depending on what you want to have with your vehicle and how you want things to be set up. And also, you can see how it said rising. That's because I pushed this. This will actually raise and or lower the vehicle depending on your preferences. And, okay, I promise we're going on the test drive here. I don't know how well you can see it right here, but there is a head-up display right there as well. Okay, we're going to get out on the road here for our test drive, but there's one thing that I completely forgot about when we were going over the MBUX system, or the Mercedes-Benz User Experience, or MBUX. Depends on what you want to say, but that's what it is ultimately. But you can actually talk to Mercedes, and so since it's a little warm in here, what a perfect opportunity of one of the many commands you can give or things you can ask. You can do this. Hey Mercedes, I'm hot.
I'm reducing the temperature on the driver's side to 69 degrees.
And you can actually ask her practically endless questions. It really works pretty well. The thing is, there's actually the ability to say, hey, and I'm not going to do it here, but you know her name. What questions can I ask you? That is actually a question you can ask. And she'll give you about a 45-minute to 1-second answer on that. Pretty amazing. Pretty long answer. So we won't go through that. Speaking of long, I'm sitting at a Shreveport red light. So for me, it's going to be a little bit, for quite a bit, I should say. For you, it's going to be a little bit. And for once, that little bit for you and a lot for me was actually a big benefit because I enjoyed a little more massage than I would have had otherwise. So for once, thanks for the overly long Shreveport red lights. All right, how's that 362 horsepower in sport mode? Not bad, not bad. It doesn't feel like you're moving as fast as you are until you notice when you look at your head-up display or down at the dash and see the speedometer down there that you're cruising along at a pretty good clip and probably need to slow back down in case the popo's hiding up the road clocking you with their radar gun. An enjoyable ride, one way or another. Very comfortable seating, extremely adjustable. We talked about that earlier. I showed you on the screen how you can do that, and on the door panels as well at every single door, whether it's the front seats or the rear seats. Obviously the front seat's a little bit more adjustable. It's pretty funny. I don't know if you could see the car in front of us that actually got on their brakes going through this corner, but I don't need to do that in this 450. But then again, I may just have a different driving skill set than they do. But it's funny to see that I could take that corner so well compared to what they did, and I'm in an SUV. Oh my goodness. Well, it is a lot of fun to drive. It definitely gets down the road, and I'm getting on it a little bit more this time. Not too much, but we're gonna go through the corner here. not too bad on the body roll. It's actually doing pretty well. It is an SUV. It does have a comfortable ride quality, even though I am in sport mode, so it's going to be the most well-performing situation you can get. But the thing I like here is that even though you have very good handling, it's not race car-like or anything like that, it's still very, very solid, but at the same time, it's balanced with a very nice, comfortable, luxurious riding quality. And when you look over your right shoulder, if you're used to looking in your blind spot like I am, well, obviously there is a pretty good blind spot there, but Mercedes-Benz has that figured out for you because you do have blind spot monitoring built into these side view mirrors, and so you're going to know if somebody is there. But just so much going on here, you definitely get a lot for what you pay for with these vehicles. I know everyone's going to have their varying opinions on whether or not these Mercedes-Benz models are overpriced, even if they're new or used, but the bottom line is that people are buying them, so somebody doesn't think they're overpriced. And I don't know how much of a difference you can tell, but now that I've raised the GLS 450 up to its highest ride height capability, well, you might be able to tell the difference. So tell me what you think down in the comments. What do you think about this GLS 450 from Mercedes-Benz? Is it something you might be interested in buying? I'm always curious to know what your thoughts are. If not, what Mercedes-Benz model do you prefer? Or maybe another vehicle instead of Mercedes-Benz? Tell me all about it down in the comments section. I've got to say a special thanks to my friends at Morgan Buick GMC, where I borrowed this slightly, freshly, lightly used 2023 Mercedes-Benz GLS 450 for the day. And a special thanks to all of you for being kind enough to give me the opportunity to give you a vision for your next vehicle. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn about other vehicles you may wish to consider purchasing, check out the video that's on the screen right now, and I will see you there.